So I'm here at the Bicester Scramble, January 2025. And as you can see behind me, it's a little bit different. We have snow. So overnight last night was a whole load of snow, but it's really wet, slushy stuff. I suspect by the end of the morning it will be almost gone. But we'll see how we get on. We'll see what's here, see who's braved it. I wasn't brave enough to bring my car, my Lotus Esprit. And when I was driving up here, I was pretty glad I didn't. The roads were awful. Really wet, slushy, full of salt and everything, so yeah, didn't really want to do that. Anyway, I've got my coffee, so let's have a look around. Let's pick up on a modern car to kick off. This Rolls-Royce Phantom. It's an absolute beast of a car, and this is actually the normal wheelbase, the long wheelbase version, obviously that bit bigger. But we've got a few Rolls-Royces on show on this little bit here. But yeah, 90% of cars sold overseas apparently. So export, probably because something like this on the UK's roads is quite a liability, I'd say. But yeah, very nice. I guess these two cars are a bit more my thing in terms of this channel, classic cars. I'm guessing these are kind of 1930s, possibly this red one, and maybe slightly earlier on the blue one. Always go and have a look at the thing, I guess. 31, Phantom 1 Continental, or Phantom 2, sorry. Just amazing. Just amazing presence. Just walking past the engine cover of this one, it's clearly been driven. Whether it's driven all the way here, I don't know, but it's still warm. Just to finish up on Rolls-Royce, it's got the Shadow 2. So apparently it's the 50th anniversary of this Silver Shadow this year. Quite a thing. Cheap as chips to buy, but I guess you've still got the typical Rolls-Royce running costs. Austin Healey 3000. Ideal car for me to celebrate my 3,000 subscribers, which is actually quite long gone now. I had a bit of an aim to get 3,000 by the end of the year, but I did it by Christmas. Really pleased. So I saw this car driving in. Went past for quite a long time, as you might imagine. It's a huge car, Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Lovely fins. This is kind of, imagine these are the ones, they're sort of the pink Cadillacs, I think. But these fins, look at them. Rocket ship fins at the back, very iconic. Oh, someone else has brought a Lotus, older than mine too. Lotus Elite, well done. Lovely colour. Okay, let's have a little wander up here past Hangar 136. Purveyors of classic cars. What have I got here? I've got an early Porsche, sort of 356, and an early 911. Unless it's a 912, that could be a 912 actually. I don't know, was either that or is it very early because it looks quite short wheelbase. Yeah, it's just a 912. I was just looking at the steel wheels. Still a really interesting car though. Not long ago they were not a lot of money, but I think people have discovered them, particularly as the early 911s have gone stupid money. So Datsun 240Z. It's a Hero rally car. We've got a few more outside their place. I do quite like these as well. Quattroporte Maserati. And then a Corvette. Now is this the C2? I guess it must be. But again, rally car. Not sure if it's driven here today, or whether it's been sat here, but yeah, it looks like it has been driven. All the dirt up the sides. So unsurprisingly, a few people choosing to bring 4x4s instead of their regular classic cars. But you know, do like a Land Rover. It's a nice Series 3 short wheelbase. So it's a classic Range Rover. However, when you look at the front, we've got a brand new registration, or a newer registration with a green patch on it, so that's an EV conversion. A couple of old Swedes, it's an old Volvo, and next to it a Saab. supposedly beloved of architects. This is the one with the 3-spoke alloy wheels. Can't really call them spokes, can you? 3-blade. So this must be the mother of all 4x4s. Is that 6.5 litres of Hummer? Just an enormous thing. All tricked out with winches and lights and stuff as well. So again, looking at the lineup here, probably slightly more modern, which might suggest people have left their classics behind and gone for their more interesting modern cars. BMW M's, Audi RS's. Lovely little vintage commercial. It's a Ford of some sort. Whether the Star Steam Laundry still exists in Bath Road, Roker, who knows? But interesting vehicle. I think commercial vehicles have got something about them now. Even sort of modern classic commercials like Ford Transits from the early Mark I Transits, even Mark II Transits seem to be gaining some appeal. At least one Lotus has braved the weather. Lotus Elise. The kind of, I suppose, a sort of a gold leaf evocation delivery. We're looking at the Porsche 912 earlier. This is the car that then took over from it, or replaced it, the 914. Very different in terms of Porsche standards, but I guess you could argue that the Boxster is the equivalent to this, sort of small mid-engined roadster. Audi R8, V10. I don't know where he's going to be putting that. Is he going to leave it there? I guess they've got Quattro 4-wheel drive, haven't they, these? So it's doing it quite well. Nice colour as well. And this is going to test my knowledge. Is that a 964? No, he's going that way. So I must just pick out this Mercedes S-Class. Not because of the wheels. I hate those wheels. They look awful to me, but you know, it's not my car. It's also been slammed a bit. But it just reminds me of the one that the MD of the business I was working for back in, gosh, when was this? Back in the 90s, I guess it must have been. Announced a pay freeze for everybody one particular year, and then the following day was delivered of a brand new Mercedes S-Class. So this is where McLaren's electric racing team are based. So you typically get a couple of McLarens parked outside. I'm never that good on more modern McLarens. I can get these kind of ones, which are 650S. I can kind of recognise ones of that era. And then the one up there, is that a 720 or 750? I don't know, I'll have to have a look. 720S. A bit of a departure when they did these and put these kind of nostrils, air intakes around the lights. As previous models had lights that kind of mimicked the speed mark from McLaren, the logo. I'm not sure if that's electric, and I think the next one is not either. It's the Formula One car, and then the Extreme E, that is electric. Not sure which era this was. It's got number 55 on it. It was Carlos Sainz, I think, isn't it? He's been to Ferrari and left there again since. It's a Lister Jaguar, also known as a Nobili, and Nobili because of these kind of wings here. They rise up like knobbly bits. That's why it was called Nobili. And then the big bulge on the top there where the engine cover is. Just following on from looking at those Rolls Royces, this is a Bentley. Obviously for a long time Bentley was owned by Rolls Royce, or they were sort of shared chassis and bodies, and they just put different grills and badges on them and different accoutrements inside. But it's a Mulsanne. These are one hell of a car. I mean, you know, again, these kind of things are not a lot of money, but the car that you get for it is amazing. A few interesting cars here. 928, I think it's a S or S2. Jaguar E-Type, so Series 3 E-Type, Mercedes SL, Pagoda era SL. Very nice. It's a C1 Corvette, race car. Very nice. Just imagine the noise of that going around somewhere like Goodwood. It's definitely more of a modern leaning to the cars that have found their way in here. I guess if people get a display pass, I mean, I myself, I got a display pass, but I couldn't really bring the classic car. So I just brought my Volvo, but it's not my second car isn't really worthy of displaying, but other people have got second cars of like Alfa Romeo Stelvios and Aston Martin DBXs, or Land Rovers, an awful lot of Land Rovers out. Porsche's obviously doing quite well, the 911s, the more modern ones particularly, because I guess, you know, some of them at least have got four-wheel drive. Now, this is interesting because it says Marconi Fire Brigade. Now, Marconi was obviously from Marconi, the guy that sort of developed or invented radio communication. What's this, a Series 2 or 2A, lights inside the wings. But yeah, this company's based sort of in Chelmsford. That's why I grew up in Essex, and a lot of my dad's family works at Marconi. In fact, a lot of my mum's family works at Marconi as well, different divisions that they had. I noticed a few of these about today. I imagine must be enormous fun whizzing those around the lanes in this kind of weather conditions. But yeah, otherwise like four-wheel drives everywhere. That's the 750, 750S. Must be nervous people bringing those kind of things out. So like the GR Yaris, there's obviously an opportunity for people to bring out their rally-inspired cars. Subaru Impreza, and over here got a couple of Ford Fiestas, I guess they are, rally cars. May well be the real thing, I think, these, rather than just road-going versions. A big Audi S8, or if you're a fan of Ronin, an Audi S8. I think I know who brought this. He obviously has made it here from the Midlands, where I think it's even snowier. That is the 964. So here outside the Road Rat office, Road Rat being that kind of quarterly magazine for car people, and they've obviously got a bit of a McLaren thing going on. So last time out they had a whole load of Gordon Murray T50s, the fan cars. But this time they've got McLarens. They just, I don't know, there's something about this colour, isn't it? It just shouts McLaren, this papaya orange. These other two over here, slightly sort of more modern take on that papaya, but for me it's this colour does it for me. I'd, you know, love one of those. Who wouldn't? So if you're going to bring a classic 4x4, why not bring something a little bit different? So a lot of people will see this, oh, it's an early Land Rover, or it's a Land Rover, but it's not. I think it's an Austin Gypsy, I think they were called. Kind of the competitor, I guess, to a Land Rover. Never really went very far. But a few of them around. This is a bit more interesting. Not just your everyday Jaguar F-Type. This is a Lister Thunder. I think it was 666 horsepower. Well, I got some video somewhere of one starting up. Just, I mean, you know, that's why it's called Thunder. It just makes a horrendous noise. Horrendous, good, horrendous. So the other good thing about the Scrambles is that they do open up all the different businesses, specialist businesses. This is, I think, performance race engineering, classic performance engineering. So it kind of does what it says, isn't it? So you've got old classic cars that they're preparing for racing or rallying. So two very different 4x4s, Series 2 to a Land Rover and Lamborghini Urus. And then just round here, even different again, a Chevy Suburban. So a lot of the times you see kind of Secret Service and that kind of films and movies, they're driving Suburbans as their kind of chase vehicle. A little bit older than most of the ones you see. It's the Jaguar CX-75 by Callum. who's turned them into road going. They don't have the hybrid drivetrain that the originals should have had, but nonetheless nice to see such things on the road. Such a shame that that they didn't do it properly. And next to it they've got their Callum Sky prototype. I saw one, I'm not sure if it was this one, but I saw one here last time. And this is the one with the actual interior, as they were kind of didn't want to reveal the interior at the last one. Because TWR have just relaunched a sort of a resto mod Jaguar XJS, that there's a little bit of renewed interest in Jaguar XJSs. A slightly later version of it, or one of the later models. Okay, so you could bring a 4x4, or better still, bring a tractor. Lamborghini tractor at that. There's quite a few tractors around today. Kind of don't blame people. It's old and new, old Lamborghini tractor. It's a lovely little one. If you've got a little piece of land, or even just a sort of a big garden you want to drag a mower around, that would be quite cool, wouldn't it? It's fair to say it's a little bit empty inside today. Unsurprising. Can't really blame people for not showing up. A lot of people, if they're coming from the kind of north, would find it quite a challenge to get here. Usually this area is pretty full of cars. A few more modern Porsches over here. I think that's the 911 Safari, or the Dakar, isn't it? GT3 RS. Nice colour. And there's an awful lot of interest in this place. Let's see what's over here. What have we got? It's a Porsche. I'm not quite sure what kind of Porsche that is. And a Lola race car. Despite the name, Lola is a British mark. Yeah. The Porsche GT car and BMW. Looks like a DTM German touring car, and a Ford GT, the modern version of the Ford GT. Still a nice car. Not entirely sure about that livery. It's not my favourite livery. I've seen one, the yellow one with black stripe, just for me looks really great. But, yeah, that'd be a hell of a car to have. Just looking at this detailing bay. This bright green Lamborghini. Is that the Huracan? Lovely. Like to see colourful cars. So we head out into the car park. Now this car park is often reserved for sort of, I don't know, what they call them, VIPs. I think it's 1771, but again, look at this. 4x4s all around. New Defender, Discovery, and a Ineos Grenadier. Another Discovery, Ford pickup trucks, Range Rovers. Oh, this is something a bit different. Again, not a Land Rover. It's something that looks a lot like one. Minerva. Are they the ones that were built overseas? I don't recall. So looking inside the main hangar here, Moto Historics have come here, and they've brought with them a TWR Jaguar, the sort of silk cut Jaguar, Le Mans cars. A Nissan.
Imagine getting that in a multi-story.
Not entirely sure. This says Porsche. As you can see, not really snow, but just slush underfoot. So given the conditions out there, they're trying to park as much of many of the cars as possible on hard standing rather than on the grass. I think where I've parked over on kind of that way, it's on the grass because the Scrambler's parking is close by the gates, and there's a few out here, but I think I don't think it will be beyond where you can see into the fog. I don't think there's any parking on that bit of grass. It will just be too difficult. They've also opened up the hangars and putting people in hangars as well. Yeah, so this area that would normally be display cars seems to now be sort of just general parking. I've noticed a few cars being picked out, given a golden ticket to go into the technical area, in through the gates. It'll be on display in there because obviously they need to fill a bit of space. Still a few nice cars out here. So supercar driver, that would explain all the supercars. So the Murcielago someone's brought out there. Gosh, that front splitter on there would be like a snowplow on a day like today. Oh no, I feel ashamed now that I haven't brought my Esprit because someone else has, albeit a later one. Turbo. So is that the X180 era turbo? Late 80s is it? Early 90s? Yeah, modern supercars, obviously they can handle these kind of conditions easily, and when you get home, your man or whoever will clean it off for you and you stick it in its garage. Ferrari 488, complete with snow on board. So this guy's just negotiated with the parking that he should be in the classic area. Slots 82, 83, the Y Ridge. So yeah, why not? I think that'll wrap it up for the scramble. As you can see behind me, it's been more about 4x4s and possibly some modern cars than it has been about classics. If you've got a classic 4x4, people have bought it, but mostly it's moderns here. But you can kind of understand that it's a blooming awful day for driving your classic out on the roads, full of salt, full of slush and horribleness. If you've liked this video, please give it a like. Please make a comment and pick out anything in this coverage that you thought was interesting. Or if you were here, also, what was your favourite car that you saw, or cars? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more of the same. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.